What do you think of Barrios? He's a big, strong, he's young, he's 30. You have 16 years on him, Manny.
Don't worry about it.
Manny, for a lot of people, you are the greatest fighter in history, the only champion in 4 different decades. When you beat Barrios, what does that say?
Oh, it's a big thing for me.
And
Tank Davis showed up at Manny Pacquiao's training camp this week and jumped into a sparring session with the legend. The unexpected move might surprise some, but for those paying close attention, it makes perfect sense. This isn't just a cameo or a friendly favor. Tank is surveying the landscape. Pacquiao is deep into preparations for his July 19th comeback fight against Mario Barrios, and Tank's presence in the camp is a quiet signal of what could come next.
So basically, your interpretation is that the boxing public is upset because they believe Pacquiao's going to beat Barrios, which is going to lead to a Tank Pacquiao fight?
Yes, look around. Look in the Discord. That's what everybody, Pac and Tank, that's being set up.
Oh,
Tank
so,
and Pac.
okay, so they saying Barrios is the setup for Tank and Pac. I didn't see that, but your argument makes sense. If he beats Barrios, there's nothing wrong with him fighting Tank. But the issue is he don't deserve the box.
There's an undercurrent running through this camp charged with more than just nostalgia, because it's no longer just about Mario Barrios. It's about the future, about what comes next. About a 46-year-old former 8-division champion trying to rediscover what it feels like to be back under the lights, and maybe lining up one last mega fight.
Oh, Barrios and Manny thing, y'all don't see what the bigger picture is? Y'all don't think we're going to get a Maybe Part 2 coming soon? Y'all don't think so? Because you do know Barrios is the ultimate company man.
Oh.
Mayweather Pac 2? Yeah, I don't see that. I'm more on the Tank. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I think that Tank gets the fight.
That's what I've been saying. I said I'm going to stand on it that if Manny Pacquiao pulls this off and gets that belt, Floyd Mayweather's coming out of it.
At age 46, Manny Pacquiao is still running hills, still hitting mitts with Freddie Roach, still forcing his body through the punishing grind he once thrived on during his welterweight reign. He knows it's different. Now, the legs are older, the recovery slower, but his mind is locked in. I'm still excited for it, and I'm enjoying all the training, Pacquiao told Boxing Scene. I still have the passion like before, so I'm excited. I don't have to worry about that. That's not a throwaway line. That's a man who has buried himself in the grind again. The difference this time? He doesn't have to, but he's choosing to.
You got your boy Barrios fighting Pacquiao, man.
Yeah.
You know, a legend. What do you think Barrios needs to do in that fight against Pacquiao, man?
I feel like he has to keep Pacquiao on the outside. He has a height and reach advantage, so I feel like he just go out there and do what he's always done.
What's your prediction for that fight?
Mario Barrios victory.
Do you think it goes all 12 rounds?
I think he has what it takes to stop Pacquiao.
You surprised Pacquiao's coming out of retirement?
Yeah,
Pacquiao's last real fight was nearly 4 years ago, a points loss to Yordenis Ugas in August 2021. Afterward, he flirted with exhibitions dipped in half-heartedly and then stepped away completely. He pursued a Senate seat in the Philippines, but came up short in the elections. That was in May. By June, he was already committed to a new challenge. Mario Barrios, a 30-year-old WBC welterweight champion from San Antonio Barrios, holds 29 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, and 18 knockouts. He's a full-fledged, in his prime welterweight, and Pacquiao knows it. I'm confident I'll win the fight, Pacquiao said. But I'm not taking it lightly or underestimating him. I have to punish myself in training like I've done before.
I would ask a simple question. And please, Manny, tell me the truth. Why? That's it. That's it. Why? Why are you coming back? And the warrior that Manny is, he's gonna be like, because
Barrios has already shared the ring with elite fighters, including Gervonta Tank Davis. That fight didn't go his way, but he gave Tank a serious challenge before getting stopped. Since then, Barrios has rebuilt and now holds a belt. He's no tune-up, he's no warm-up. He's a live opponent with everything to gain. Sparring partners say Barrios is sharp-focused and knows exactly what this fight means for his career. Amir Khan, who trained with both Pacquiao and Barrios, shared his take. It's a fantastic fight for Mario. He needs that big fight. He'll be paid well. And fighting a legend like Manny Pacquiao, who would say no to that? Khan said, Mario deserves this fight because every fighter wants that big payday. It'll be fantastic for him.
I didn't think, this shit was really gonna happen. But I mean, we're here. He's doing something that not many people have done. I'm defending my title against the legend. I'm excited.
Mario, you fought the best at 140, 147. Do you have a favorite Manny Pacquiao fight? Growing up, you saw like, man, this guy's like fucking legit.
Man, there's so many, but I grew up a big Marquez.
Khan didn't stop there. When me and Virgil Hunter were training together, I used to spar with Barrios a lot. He's a very good boxer. I don't know how much Manny has left in him. If they were in their prime, I'd say all day Manny Pacquiao. But this could be a tricky fight. He's been out of the ring for a long time. Has he still got the fire in his belly? Barrios, I'm sure he's coming in to win. This could change his life. Pacquiao knows that too. He's seen this movie before and he's not walking into another young fighter's breakthrough moment. That's why he's back with Freddie Roach. That's why the road work is brutal again. That's why the mitt work is crisp, not ceremonial. Pacquiao isn't selling memories. He's preparing. For a real fight, I only trained for a week for those exhibitions. She said they can expect a good Manny Pacquiao. I know the fans are excited. I will do my best. That's why I'm doing the hard work again. I'm here to put up a good fight. I won't let the fans down. Camp energy was already solid, but it got a boost this week with title wins from two fighters Pacquiao promotes, Mexico's Wilibaldo Garcia and the Philippines' Pedro Taduran. The wins meant more than just business. I'm excited and happy for them and happy I can help others reach my goal. Pacquiao said it's a reminder his life in boxing never really stopped. He just stepped back from the spotlight. Now he's stepping into it again. If he wins, it'll be his 13th welterweight title. Win going all the way back to his TKO over Miguel Cotto in 2009. That fight was nearly 16 years ago. And yet here he is still chasing belts, still filling arenas. It means a lot to come back, he said. And I ask that of the Lord. Reclaiming a world title at age 46 would make him the second oldest champion in boxing history.
Trust me, let your body relax, let your body rest. He'll do fine. He's experienced, he's got obviously the power, because it never leaves you. The speed I'm a little worried about, but I think, look, Barrios is a live dog. He's a world champion, and he's no slouch. So I think it's going to be a good fight. I wish Manny all the best. I'm not sure who's going to win. I really haven't seen Barrios, but I think Barrios, I mean, the youth is obviously, with him in his corner.
And it wouldn't end there. The buzz around a potential fight with Gervonta Davis is already getting louder. Sean Gibbons, Pacquiao's longtime promoter, was clear. When he beats Mario Barrios, lined them up. His dream fight is Gervonta Davis he loves. That fight. He's wanted it for years. Gervonta kept saying he wouldn't fight at 145, then he gets smoked by Lamont Roach. So Manny gets this belt and it's going to be a hell of a ride.
YouTube show.
1 second. Do you have, so you got Manny winning?
Yes.
You got Manny winning?
No. Against Barrios?
Yeah.
No, I think, look, every great fighter got one great fight left in him. That had to be Thurman. And Manny, I think Manny seems to want to, Manny appears to be like how Bernard and Roy were. Like, he's really one of those great old school fighters where you gotta he's gotta go out on his shield.
Yeah.
Going out on your shield used to not mean just
Gervonta Davis is expected to rematch Roach in August after a controversial result that left fans demanding a do-over. Tank's reputation took a hit. If he wins clean and if Pacquiao beats Barrios, the stage is set. A generational showdown between the aging legend and the modern star. This isn't fantasy, it's a realistic sequence, and Tank showing up to camp might just be the handshake before the contract. Other names have come up for Tank too, like Jake Paul with reports of an exhibition, but Paul is a detour. Pacquiao is the road legacy versus ambition, name versus name, and both men know it.
What makes you think he's got a chance against the much younger, the 29-year-old Mario Barrios?
Look, I'm not saying the odds will be high that he's going to come back and pull this upset or even be ultra competitive. But again, it's sort of like Manny's already superhuman. Turning pro at like age 15 or 16 at 106 pounds and winning titles in 8 divisions. And oh, by the way, 2 fights ago for Manny in 2019, he came out of retirement.
When asked if he'd fight again after Barrios Pacquiao didn't commit, I don't know. One at a time, I need to focus on this one fight, he said. That's what he always says. He said it before. Cotto, before De La Hoya, before Thurman. But those around him already know what's next. Gibbons didn't. Hedge. His dream fight is Gervonta Davis. If that happens, it would be one of the most unexpected collisions in modern boxing. Not because it doesn't make sense, but because few believed. Pacquiao would come back this seriously. The exhibitions dulled the hype. The political campaign made it seem like he was done. But Pacquiao isn't back for nostalgia. He's back for a belt, and maybe one last big name on his record.
It's a joke, really. There's the thought. It's an absolute joke. I love Manny Pacquiao. Love everything about him. An all-time great in terms of what he's done previous, but that doesn't entitle you to just walk back in after 6 years and get a number 4 ranking with the WBC and fight for a world title. What about all the other guys that are waiting around? It's wrong. We seen Manny Pacquiao fight an exhibition against a kickboxer in his last fight, and kickboxers can't box, right? I've seen.
Yordenis Ugas knows what it's like to share the ring with Pacquiao. He beat him in 2021. But now, as Manny prepares for Barrios, Ugas doesn't see it as a simple return. He sees it as a risky gamble. For Barrios, Ugas also fought Barrios later. Lost in 2023, he's one of the few who's gone toe-to-toe with both. And what he sees isn't easy. He believes Barrios is walking into danger, no matter what the outcome.
I think it's terrible, to be honest with you. I mean, it just sort of like sums up the way boxing's going these days. The WBC, I think, is for so many years has been known as the most respected. The famous green belt, but boxing just seems to have turned a corner. A 58-year-old Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul, 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao coming back, not just coming back after years of retirement, straight into the top 10 of the world rankings and fighting.
Barrios is in a lose-lose situation, Ugas said. If he wins, people will say Pacquiao was old. If he loses, they'll say, you lost to an old man. It's a big risk. Ugas added that the Pacquiao he fought wasn't a shadow of his former self. He had just come off an impressive win over Keith Thurman, the division's top man. That version of Pacquiao still had momentum and sharpness. He was still dangerous.
This is a bad idea. Out of nowhere, the WBC decides they want their welterweight champion, Mario Barrios, to defend his belt against Manny Pacquiao. About 7 to 8, maybe 9, 10 years ago, I would have said, hells yeah, if we had a Manny Pacquiao championship fight. But Manny's...
Now the context is different. This time Pacquiao is 46, coming off a 4-year layoff and a loss. He looked slow and out of rhythm in his exhibition against Japanese kickboxer Rukia Ampo. Many thought that would be the final image. Yet here he is set to fight a world champion again. It's harder now, Ugas admitted. Still, we'll see. It'll be a good fight.
So there's a lot to unpack here. I'm going to start with the fact he's coming out of retirement. It's a real shame that he sees the need, at his age, 46 years old, to come out of retirement after 4 years out of the game, after 6 years since winning a fight. This also being his second fight, professional fight, in that same span of time, 7 years, 6 years, 7 years. It's a real shame that he feels the need.
That fight against Ugas in 2021 was meant to be a comeback. Instead, it became a send-off. Ugas outboxed and outpointed Pacquiao. The speed angles and flurries that defined his prime were gone. Afterward, Pacquiao ran for president in the Philippines. When that failed, he quietly began considering a return. It wasn't just about money, it was about legacy pride. Ending things on his own terms.
After his training with Freddie Roach, he's back in the gym at the Wild Card Gym as well. Pacquiao made it very official today and Twitter. He says, in quote, "I'm back," end quote. He also wrote on social media, he's added, "Let's make history," end quote. Now, Pacquiao, we're going to talk about his training a little bit, all the critical howl from the public about him coming back. And
that desire has kept him training, testing himself. Last year's exhibition didn't go well, but now Pacquiao is all in full camp. Real opponent, sanctioned world title fight promoter Frank Warren voiced his discomfort. You come in and test the water, son. Go straight into a world title fight? I don't get it. It doesn't sit well with me. It's not good for the sport. He compared it to aging legends like Klitschko and Foreman, but still wasn't convinced.
Well, I got excited about that. Don't tarnish your legacy. You have a pretty good legacy.
It's for the WBC Welterweight Championship on July 19th in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Just don't do it.
He has enough money. I don't know why he wants to.
I know. He's 46.
These guys are past their sell-by date, Warren said. And it doesn't help the sport. Paulie Malignaggi went further. He didn't just question Pacquiao's age, he criticized Barrios. The welterweight division is so weak right now that a guy like Barrios could win a title almost by default. He's not impressive, and never really was. Pacquiao saw an opportunity, a weak champion in a weak division, and he took it. If the division were stronger, Manny wouldn't be back 17.
Now, whether you think this is brave or very reckless, the comeback is on. Even Bob Arum, who let him go years ago, is said to be hoping he wins. But hope doesn't mean much when you're 46. For years of age and also very inactive and stepping against a strong, active champion. For better or for worse, guys, Manny Pacquiao is back on the 19th.
That opportunity, though, could become history. If Pacquiao beats Barrios, he'll reclaim a welterweight title at 46, breaking his own record from when he beat Thurman at 40. Another chapter in a career full of them. But the risks are real at this stage. Getting hurt wouldn't just end a career, it could change a life. And that's why so many in boxing are raising their eyebrows.
The welterweight division is the weakest it's ever been. I think, at least in my life, it's very bad. It's really poor. And so there is an opportunity to step in. I think if the welterweight division was more competitive, I think Manny wouldn't come back. I think he's picking a moment where he sees an opportunity. Mario Barrios not only continues to not impress, he looks like he's getting worse, and he wasn't that good to begin with. It just, in a weak welterweight division, a guy like that has picked up a title. So I think
still at least one legend isn't second-guessing him. Sugar Ray Leonard, who also returned in his 40s, gets it. There's not one thing that will really make people understand why we do what we do, he said. But you know what? God bless. Stay healthy. Take care. For Leonard fighters, fight even when the world says stop something inside keeps pulling them back. I've made more comebacks than anybody. I hold the record. Undisputed.
And the news, Manny Pacquiao is coming out of retirement.
Is it to unleash Batman again on his country that he ran?
Manny Pacquiao is coming out of retirement to face Mario Barrios in Las Vegas title fight.
Well, I got excited about that. Don't tarnish your legacy. You have a pretty good legacy.
It's for the WBC Welterweight Championship on July 19th in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Just don't do it.
Yeah. Pound-for-pound king Terence Crawford also weighed in with technical insight. Barrios is a great matchup for Pacquiao. At this age, it's a 50-50 fight. That kind of analysis underscores the uncertainty. It's not just about age, it's about what. Pacquiao still has left, and whether Barrios is truly a leader, just a belt holder in a weak division. What do you think? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more updates. Would you like this turned into a voiceover-ready script or formatted? For video narration next?
Yeah, it's surprising. Obviously, I know Manny very well. He's a true competitor. He's a guy that if you put something in his head, and obviously to create more history, he's a guy that's going to give everything and try his best. That's what Manny. One thing I always learned with Manny is give 110% and try your best no matter what. So he's going to give it his all. Again, you can't beat Father Time, but Father Time is hard, and it was very hard watching him fight.